going to talk about. So needle movers are the components you need to monitor your business. If I think about, these are the things that you need to do to get your business started, to maintain it, create momentum, all those kind of things. And these are, I recognize these at the beginning of me building my sales talent practice at Accenture, where I was like, man, and when you're beginning to do something at a large organization, there are 120 variables thrown at you at one time. And Nate, I know exactly, what I'm talking about, because there's like all this stuff going on. And Amber, you're in that place now too. Because you weren't in that place, but now you are again, of like all these variables being thrown at you. And we all know this because we're all executives, is that if you try, and I think about that as like, if you put marbles all on a slightly slanted tabletop, 122 marbles on a slightly tilted tabletop. And if you try to keep all 122 marbles on top of the table, you just go bananas. Well, that's what it's like. But the table doesn't stay, slanted the same way. It's kind of tilting, pitch yaw, you're on a spaceship, or no, not a spaceship. They'd be floating then. But where are you with that? And so when I think about these are the 5 categories that I put those marbles all in those different packages, so that I can monitor those as needle movers. If any of those aren't working, if any of these 5 aren't working like the others, that's where I should spend my attention. Okay, so the 5 needle movers come from my framework, my ROCIR framework. It's ROCIR. The ROCIR framework is about relationships, offers, campaigns, infrastructure, and rhythm. So just to briefly go through those relationships, you absolutely need relationships to monitor your business. If you don't have the relationships to run your business, it's not going to go. For example, love our product. We have such good product. Why isn't anybody buying it? Well, because you don't have clients buying it. That's a relationship issue. So maybe you should build up your sales and marketing. So relationships, well, I'm going to come back to that one. Offers are what you sell or what you provide. It could be a service, it could be a product, but what's the thing that you provide? Now, the thing about offers, I've asked both in corporations and in entrepreneurs, what's your offer? And I get this lengthy paragraph of a thing, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. The more you can describe that offer very distinctly, the more it's like, oh, that's the offer. So for example, Significant Impact Monthly Interactive is an offer. It's an offer. I have a monthly program. That's an offer. Make sense, folks? So that's important to have that as something distinct. I've asked coaches that. It's like, what's your offer? And they're like, well, I like to coach people through transformation. That I'm like, oh, no. That's your process. That's what you do. What's the offer? It's like, well, I coach people through transformation. No, you're telling me what you do. And it's like, what is the thing? And they're like, what do you mean? It's like, do you have 5 sessions? It's like, well, it takes as long as it takes. I'm like, I'm not sure what your offer is. I'm not sure what the thing is. And I try to coach people into, it's a 12-session package that works through transformation issues. They're bi-monthly or bi-weekly. It's like, oh, okay, that's the offer. So make it as clear as possible. And I know, because you've done a lot of that work, but also that's tough in your business of like, here is the offer. And we can talk about that at a future call too. Third one is campaigns. In campaigns, I think of those as sales and marketing, promotions. So the offer goes all the way up into what's the retail price for that offer. So you price it on that side, on the offer side. But the campaign side is, what are we going to put it in the marketplace for? You might discount that. You might bundle it with other offers and create a bundled price. But that's how you promote it or put it out in the world, as a campaign. And then infrastructure. This is the one that I see most entrepreneurs miss in their world, is an infrastructure piece on the needle movers. If you don't have a strategy for infrastructure, what I've seen so many people do is cobble stuff together, and they don't actually have some strategy with their infrastructure. And then they end up cobbling something together because they're going cheap. I want to go really cheap. And I'm like, what's your long goal for this? What's the long plan, the long game? And for me, it's always been, what if I grow? What if I exponentially grow? What if my growth pops? What I don't want to think about when my growth pops is, wow, this thing isn't working with this thing, and that thing doesn't work anymore, and I have to rebuild that thing. If my business pops, I want to focus my time on my new customers on that side, rather than going like, oh, my infrastructure is broken now, and I got to go fix that. So infrastructure is important. And the last one is rhythm, and that's of not like kind of the others. Rhythm is, what rhythm do you have of the things that came above? When I think about rhythm in my business, I have a daily review, a weekly review, a monthly review, a quarterly review, and an annual review. So that's a rhythm that I have, but also Significant Impact Monthly. It is in rhythm. And what I really try hard to do with this is to have these programs on the same day and the same month at the same time. It's like, so that there's a rhythm for people. They get it. They know what's coming. So that's a rhythm. I try to have X number of one-on-one calls every week. And so I monitor that. That's a rhythm that I want to maintain. I want to check my social media because I have social media presence. I want to check those with a rhythm. So what's your rhythm for your business?